You were not a real passionate, engaged mom. You were not really looking out for the best interest of this child. You say you want to look at the 12 factors. One of the first things I look at is parent alienation. And when you don't make efforts to maintain a relationship with that child's other parent, that bothers me. When that child is being handed off to that parent because of the court's ruling, which you brought on yourself by thumbing your nose at them, and you sit there with that child and say, I didn't want this. This is being made to happen because she went to court and she's the one that's making you go with her, et cetera, et cetera. And
I never told our daughter that she was making her. I told her that the courts were making me.
Then why did she come to me saying, Daddy said this is all your fault? Saying that
let me tell you,
I
you
was
both have
her.
a whole lot of sin here on both sides of this deal. And look, I'm about unification of families. For this little girl to grow up without her daddy in her life would be a tragedy. She needs to learn to value herself. She needs to have her daddy in her family to teach her about boys and teach her to value herself and her body and her self-worth and her self-esteem. She needs to know that her daddy puts her here and holds her high. So in just a very few years, when some hairy-legged boy's blowing in her ear and saying, I love you and I want you to do what I want you to do, she can say, well, you know what? I already got a man in my life that loves me. I don't need you blowing in my ear. I got a daddy that loves me. So I don't need you, and you're not going to make my body a playground for your entertainment. So tell it walking, bucko. That's what a young girl gets when she's got a daddy that's steady and then loves her. I don't want her cheated out of that. I want you in her life. But to do that, you need to grow up, mature up, and figure out what you need to do to broker a peace here. And you need to be a good steward of this conservatorship you have, because if you're not doing what you need to get her daddy in her life, then you're doing the same thing that he was doing when he had control. And you would be just as guilty as he was, and then you're sitting over there telling her, well, you know, you don't know this, and you're getting on there and writing stuff on Facebook. I've read the stuff. And you're painting her with Mary's brush. I don't know Mary from Adam. I don't know. She certainly has a horse in this race. She's got a vendetta here. There's no question about it. I said she's got a conflict here. But this isn't Mary. This is this child's mother. And if Mary is everything you say, if she's manipulative, then you should have compassion for her that she's being manipulative. You should not be painting her with Mary's brush, but you can be right, and you can just go 0 to bitch in 2 seconds every time you see her, and you can go 0 to bitch in 2 seconds every time you see her, but then the child's in the middle. That doesn't help anybody. You two should become best friends with the common denominator of this little girl.